now I'll be getting this as a refund. Okay, so this is the Wealthsimple website, and you can see here, pay $0 to file your taxes with Wealthsimple Tax. So once I click here, get started. I already have a Wealthsimple account. In case you don't have, you have to go and sign up. So this is the sign up. In my case, I will enter my email as well as password. This here you can file in 3 easy steps. Add your personal detail. We will help you to import your tax information. Make the final touches to your return before you review and submit. Continue. Let's start with some detail about you. I enter my detail, come down, enter the social insurance number, date of birth, province I select, I am in Ontario, and then the marital status. So once this is selected, next, here you have an option to file faster with Autofill. All your Wealthsimple account will be populated, the CRA details will be populated, plus any tax detail directly from other crypto exchanges. So there are 2 options: continue with Autofill, fill your form on my own. So I have an option to go and choose this one, but say this option is not there, then filling on own. Click here. Let's add your income tax slip. Continue. So as I said, T4, T4A, so whatever is applicable. So this is how the T4 looks. It has boxes, and corresponding to your income, the detail is given by the employer. So I had one. If you have, just look at that. And for T4A, this is how it looks. It again has box numbers, and it will have corresponding details entered. Coming back to the Wealthsimple application, so say these 2 have been chosen. Anything which is related, get selected, and then add to return. So again, here whatever is applicable, that gets selected, and then come to let's wrap up your return. Continue. So you see this section about you, build your return, autofill option which I showed. I will show what the search toolbar is, manage your tax form, review and optimize. This is one of the last step, summary, submit. Okay, right now it shows refund 0. You also have an option to upgrade. What is this? By paying $30, audit support and priority email support. I have not utilized this ever, so maybe later. Now, about you is basic information: name, social insurance number, date of birth, preferred language, English. Is this written for a deceased person? My answer is no. Then Netfile access code. So this access code is sent by CRA. I was given after I filed my first income tax. So that time I did not have access to my CRA account. After I submitted my first tax filing, I got the Netfile code. How it looks: once the notice of assessment comes, which is the confirmation that okay, we have assessed your income tax and benefit return and calculated your balance. If there are any refund that get shown on that notice of assessment, here the Netfile code comes. So you can just check yours if you have already filed. Coming back to the Wealthsimple, I will not be entering Netfile access for today, as if I'm doing it for the first time. Come down, Canadian mailing address, that I make an entry. Province or territory. So the Canadian mailing address is filled. About your residence, in which province or territory did you live on December 31st, 2021? Ontario, that's where I have been living. There is no change, so I leave this as blank. Is your home address the same as your mailing address? The answer is yes in my case. In which province or territory do you currently live? Ontario. Did you become a resident of Canada, immigrate for tax purpose in 2021? My answer now is no. When I came in 2019, the answer was yes. Coming down, you and your family. The marital status, did your marriage status change in 2021? Do you have any dependent? Easy to fill. Here in miscellaneous, there are a series of questions and my responses were no. Specified foreign property of this value in 2021? No. Did you dispose of your principal resident? No. Are you filing an income tax return with CRA for the first time? No. Are you Canadian citizen? No. Are you a person registered under Indian Act? My response is no. Were you confined to prison for a period of 90 days or more in 2021? No. Climate action incentive. Will you claim the climate action incentive? I say yes, and let me go and click here. Let me come down. Here it says, do I need to apply for climate action incentive payment? when you file your return, the CRA will automatically determine your eligibility and tell you if you are entitled to receive the benefit. So I chose yes. Ontario Trillium benefit. Will you apply for Ontario Trillium benefit? I don't get. So the answer is no. If you have any question, you can click here. Now coming down, are you registered for CRA My Account? I am registered, but for today's purpose, I show as no. Say I'm submitting for the first time. Are you registered for CRA My Account? Choose your answer. Online mail. I get all my notice of assessment as online mail. So whatever the option is, that gets selected. Once that is done, build your return. Autofill your return. With Wealthsimple, I have my trading account. So that detail I can import directly, and with other exchanges where I have crypto, like I have with Newton. So once this gets open on February 28th, I can just connect those exchanges and transfer those details. So this is the new feature. Find income tax form, deductions and credit. You see the search button. Once you click here, employment income, employment expenses, RRSP, climate action incentive. So this list is long. Let me pull down. So whatever is applicable, that gets selected. I have employment income as well as commission as well as professional services. So I fill my T4 looking at the T4 slip, and in a similar way look at the T4A statement and fill the detail. So say I have two different T4A statement, two different organizations, so I add another, and then there is climate action incentive which comes by default. We will go in detail once the form is getting filled. Coming down, employment expenses and work from home. This will also get filled. There are two options to fill that will also get looked into. And then once the details have been filled, it's time for review and optimize. So let's go up. So now on the T4 statement, what am I doing is I'm just looking at the T4 slip which I got. Let me show you. So this is the sample T4 slip, which if you are employed, you would have got one from your employer, which will have employer's name, your name, address, and then these are the columns. Like if you see the numbers against that, the amount would be, and this is for 2021. This will be returned. So you can look at your slip, and all I am doing is I am transferring this data to the Wealthsimple form. So you see 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 26. And then there are additional boxes 40, 57, 59 and 60. All these detail gets transferred to the T4 form, which is in the Wealthsimple Tax. Likewise, for the T4A, for each organization, I have added separate T4A. Say with this organization, I had self-employment commission. So the amount is mentioned in the T4A statement, and then accordingly other details. And with this organization, say I had fee for service, that is entered here. So all I am doing is I look at my T4 slip, enter the detail into T4 table in the Wealthsimple Tax, and then for the T4A statement, again I transfer it to each of the organization separately. So once those details are transferred, you see I have filled the exact same details what was there in the T4 statement. So against 14 I have entered the number, against 16 I have entered the number, 17 was not filled in there, so I left it blank, and accordingly remaining. Now there were additional boxes you see here. Okay, so to make these additional boxes, all I had to do was, you see here below, so I have already entered, but say one has to make an entry, just click to the box and write this number. So say 40 is written here, right? So likewise, if the T4 statement has a number, make the number enter here and corresponding value, like how it has been written here. So that's how these details have been filled by me. Again, looking at T4A for say BCD Corporation, I filled in detail what was filled in at 20, self-employed commission, and for CD Inc. I entered fee for service. So that detail was entered. In case you have got any subsidy, you would be getting a T4A statement. You see here 197 is CRB, 198 is CESB, 199 is CESB for the student with disabilities. So you can go and just see which one is applicable in your case. So the T4A has been filled. And then on which T2125 would you like to include this income? So I have added this and then come down, climate action incentive. So here I don't live in a small or rural community. You can read this at your own time. These are the communities which are not included. So my answer is no. And you see here right now it shows the owing part based on what I have filled with T4 and T4A statement. I have not yet filled RRSP. Coming to Wealthsimple Tax, I come down for the employment expense and work from home. If you are an employee and your employer requires you to pay expenses to earn your employment income, you may be able to deduct certain related expenses. Learn more if you click here. You'll be able to read this. Did you work from home or have other employment expenses? I work from home due to COVID-19. So select this. Based on your circumstances, you will have to fill in these details. If you type claim home office expense, here is the Canada Revenue Agency video. You can just go through and see what they have mentioned. Here in my case, do you want to use the temporary flat rate method? I say yes. Number of days you work from home in 2021 due to COVID-19. I did my calculation and I make an entry for this year's home office expense. Once I come down, this is the Canada government's official link. I'll be leaving this in description. You can go and check this at your own time on how the calculation is. It says what can be claimed and what cannot be claimed. So these are the things which can be claimed. If you are a salaried employee and commission employee also can claim this. Commission employees can also claim in addition these details. So you can look at your circumstances. What cannot be claimed? These are the what cannot be claimed detail. And this year's maximum limit is $500 and this link will be given in the description. So do check this. Once this is filled, I come down. So this table business, professional and commissioner income, this got populated because I had filled T4A twice. So I had selected, remember that drop down. Based on that, this one and then below, this is the second one. Let me show you the filled version. So here is the filled version. Say I don't have a business name. I leave it blank. There's no GST HST number. So that is left blank. What kind of income did you earn? In my T4A statement, if you had seen, it was commission income. So I make an entry of that. Does this business have its own address? No. Partnership? No. Physical period is last year. What accounting method do you use? I chose cash. Based on your circumstances, you can look at what you will have to choose. What's your main product or service? Consulting, industry code. I just did a search and picked other management consulting service, which was the closest one. You can look at your details. It has a long list. Okay. And then remaining things were untouched in my case. If you have anything to claim, please have a look at this. Similarly, for the other T4A statement, which was for professional service, same way the entries were made. Okay, so this is done. And once this is done, you see this has changed. So right now it's all negative and I will have to owe CRA. It shows here coming down. Now, when I click review and optimize, you'll see that how Wealthsimple Tax prompts if I have any room for saving taxes. So once I make an entry, you see if there are any error, it says fix it. So I click here, I make an entry here 0, then I come down, review and optimize. Netfile now accepts 2017 to 2021 return. If you need to submit any prior return, please submit them in order, oldest first. So if there are any, I can choose. I just ignore. Are you sure you want to file your tax return without entering your access code. If you do not enter your access code, you will not be able to use information from your 2021 tax return when confirming your identity with CRA. So when, as I said, I was filling for the first time, I did not have the access code. So the demonstration of this video also shows that I don't have an access code. So I can ignore. If I have, most of the information directly gets populated as autofill once I make an entry. So that actually makes my life easier. Coming down, if you change your name, address or direct deposit information, you must notify CRA before submitting your return. Okay. You may need to pay tax by installment. So these are the warnings. It now prompts me, you may be eligible for digital new subscription tax credit. So if I click apply, it will show me what are the digital news subscription against which I can claim taxes. I don't have any of the digital news subscription listed in this section. So once I go and click on apply, I'll be able to see. You can do that on your own. I don't have. So I leave that. Now it prompts me that you may be able to increase your refund or decrease your balance by making RRSP contribution on or before March 1st, 2022. So I click here and fill my RRSP contribution. Right now you can see it's in negative 5,000 plus. And once I make an entry, you'll see this changes. So did you make any RRSP contribution or have any transfer? Say yes. And type of contribution, I select what is appropriate for me. You can see this drop down and select what is best for you. RSP contribution, I'm just making sure that I'm not over contributing than what I'm eligible. I'll leave the CRA link below to check based on your circumstances what is the maximum deduction limit. So I enter the amount of the contribution, and once I do this, you see, now I'll be getting this as a refund. So I come down and then click on review and optimize. So I'm shown this warning, which I had explained before. I ignore them all and then look at the suggestion. So digital new subscription as well as GST, HST, both are not applicable in my case. So it's all final. I check, recheck, cross check, and once I find that every entry I have made is correct, I just go and click on go to submit. So since I had shown this without Netfile, the next step would be, once the go to submit is done, take that printout and send to the CRA office. How to check which office to send? This is the link. Again, it will be given in the description. So do check, find CRA address. I come down, I'll be sending this to mailing address, and province is Ontario. I select Mississauga. So based on your situation, you can select what is appropriate for you. What type of documents or correspondence do you want to send? It is personal tax, and now I get the address where it needs to be sent. So this is the address for my area. Accordingly, you will get to see the address where you need to send. And if you have Netfile and you already have my CRA, then this option of submit online instead is available. So this is all about Wealthsimple.